Look. Hold on, bro, you gotta let me go off. You gotta let me talk my shit. You gotta let me show off. Cause if a nigga ever gave me anything, shit, I ain't never ran off. You can run around this bitch with a little money on your head. I'ma run around this bitch blowing dookies instead. You can run around this bitch ducking and hiding and scared. I'ma run around this bitch grinding with grays in my head, nigga. I'm a made man, it's all or nothing. When that bag came, I grabbed it all. I go hard, nigga. Wanna know why I shine so hard? Cause the nigga turned his back when them times was hard. And if a nigga turned his back, he wasn't your mans at all. Laughing, smiling, and plotting how to smash your bra. Yeah, I live with the rats and roaches and dirty walls. So I spaz out in the booth is where I crash out. Heater in his back down, nigga know I never back down. Getting money, niggas is who I'm around. I ain't never been lost, it just couldn't be found. Fake ass niggas, I ain't never changing for no change, nigga. Now come on. Now I came in this game and I ain't changed shit. Your man's told on your mans and now he can't sit. Man, I came from the game. All I know is grit and yeah, you can change from the fame. I'ma stay the same, cause for some odd reason niggas change when they got some change. And if a nigga rock with you for days, he might steal your page. It's crazy how these new niggas rock, claiming how they made 10 to 20. That ain't no money. The plan was to get a million, move up in the hills and live your best life. Man, it's crazy how these new niggas rock. Man, it's crazy how these new niggas rock. It's crazy how these new niggas rock.
They say you gotta pay attention, you might overlook it. Watch that fire on the stove, don't wanna overcook it. I show niggas where I slept when I know I shouldn't. Broke in my crib and stole 50, think I know who took it. And if you don't know your limits, then you gotta push it. Put that lighter to the pipe and turn it into pudding. And one thing about life, you can get it tookin'. I sent some niggas to your crib, hopping out your bushes. You gotta learn the fundamentals. Hard to trust a nigga when you been through what I've been through. But shit, I'm hearing you out. You can't follow after a nigga who ain't stand you out. They even think to trust a nigga that you leery about. Believe half of what you see, nothing you hearing about. Cause they'll get the wrong message, start clearing shit out. We was sitting in those spots with no air in the house. Pissy mattress and couldn't put a tear in the couch. No fool nigga couldn't put a pen in his mouth. But it's cool, I come from the gutter. Never trust a soul, I learned it from my mother. No man, no friend, not even your brother.
Now I came in this game and I ain't changed shit. Your man's told on your mans and now he can't sit. Man, I came from the game. All I know is grit and yeah, you can change from the fame. I'ma stay the same, cause for some odd reason niggas change when they got some change. And if a nigga rock with you for days, he might steal your page. It's crazy how these new niggas rock, claiming how they made 10 to 20. That ain't no money. The plan was to get a million, move up in the hills and live your best life. Man, it's crazy how these new niggas rock. Man, it's crazy how these new niggas rock. Ay, ay. It's crazy how these new niggas rock. Ay, ay, ay.
What is going on, everybody, man? Welcome to the Nashville Caveman Podcast. Dang, couldn't even get it out. Man, I'm your host, Damo Unleash, here with, man, you know what? I'm not even going to introduce him as a friend, man. Sky, you more like a brother to me. So, this is my brother, Sky, man. Sky, go ahead and tap in and let them know, plug in everything you got going on.
What's up, everybody? First of all, shout out to, man, who was that we just listened to?
Man, that was Duty Do, man, and he's an artist from the Akron, Cleveland area. I'm actually going to interview him this Friday. So, artists, if you're out there, and I'm trying to promote all y'all links and just plug y'all in, so y'all can not only connect with me, but I'm going to connect you guys with Sky, too. So, make sure y'all tap in with us, all right?
Okay, well that's what's up. That was dope. I enjoyed it. But anyway, like he said, man, I'm Sky Black. You know that's amazing. Shoot him the videos, and that way you can shoot me your music for me to play on the radio. You know my radio show is tonight from 6 to 8 or 7 to 9. One of them's Eastern Standard Time, and that's at offtopradio.com. And then we take your music and we stream it on offtoprecords.net. So we do those two things. And if you are a songwriter, you need a music publisher, I also do that too.
And it will be streaming on the Nashville Caveman Show. Y'all be able to see that live. So, and I will go ahead and link that to your page so they can also see it on your page too, Sky. Man, how was your weekend, man?
Well, you know, the old folks used to say all good things must come to an end. So Denver was on a 5-game winning streak. It ended.
I seen that, man.
It ended yesterday. So, hey, it was good while it lasted, you know?
I was so hurt because earlier in the 1 o'clock games, Pittsburgh lost. So Pittsburgh lost to Arizona, and they got beat at home by double digits. So I was like, great. This is a great chance for the Browns to go ahead and jump ahead of them because, you know, they're tied at 7-4. And the Browns go out. And first of all, we get Joe Flacco, and Joe Flacco, the B-38, played amazing. Man, I got to give him his props. He played amazing. But our defense has been trash. I don't know what it is about when we go on the road, but the Browns defense, they're supposed to be this top 3 defense, has disappeared. And I don't know if that's injuries or what, but we lost. So I was hurt, man.
I truly believe that because Myles Garrett wasn't even playing.
Yeah, he injured his shoulder. And
did he break his shoulder? He just hyperextended it. What happened with his shoulder?
I think he probably hyperextended it. But you know, man, as well put together as them athletes are, I don't care who you are, there are guys that's playing on that field with multiple injuries. Like our tackle got a shoulder injury, he got a leg injury. It's like, man, and you know that's a violent game.
Yeah, it is.
We seen last night. You see what happened to Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, I saw that, man. That's crazy. That is at any time you never know when your career can come to an end. So they never reported what happened to him. Did you hear what happened?
I haven't heard anything right now. Speculation is that it may be a strain or a sprained ankle. But
yeah, his offensive lineman stepped on his ankle because his offensive lineman got pushed back into him by the defensive guy. And then as he was falling, another defensive guy folded him up. So could you imagine that? Like that's crazy.
Man, looking at it hurt. And you know when he tried to stand up and then he couldn't and he slammed his helmet down, you think the worst, you know?
That's true. That's true. Because these athletes has probably have injuries before, even before they got to the NFL. So they kind of know when they get an injury, if it's a minor injury or if it's a major. If he's slamming his helmet, he's probably either had this type of injury before or he had a teammate that's had this type of injury before. So he kind of know what's about to happen.
Yeah. And that's the
thing.
And
then you see on the other sideline, you see Joe Burrow sitting over there with his arm in a sling, you know?
Ain't that something else? Both of the first string quarterbacks, I mean, you know, it's a game of backups, and it was a good game for it to be.
Right, it was really good.
It was a really good game, man. So I stayed up and watched the overtime. I caught it at the end.
Yeah. But think about it, as far as like business, the NFL, when they put this schedule together in the beginning of the summer or in the middle of summer, they assumed that we were going to have a 9-5 Joe Burrow versus a 9-5 Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
And look what they got last night.
Right. And you know, Jacksonville, man, you know, they better hope that Trevor Lawrence ain't out multiple games, because if he is, Houston, I'm going to tell you, that boy CJ Stroud and Houston is no joke. And they can easily take over first place.
That's right. And that's what I was looking for, because if Jacksonville would have won, they would have had first place not only in the division, but in the AFC itself, at least for a week, at least for 1 week.
Because Kansas City lost. Right.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow, you're right. I forgot about that.
So now
Baltimore's number one, right?
Right, because here's the thing: the Dolphins are now number one. So what's going on is if people are but don't want Kansas City to get on this run. Hello, Jasmine. If people don't want Kansas City, you got to put your foot on Kansas City's neck, right? While Kansas City is having the up and down mid-season, y'all have to win these games. You have to get 2, 3, 4 games ahead of Kansas City, because if not, Kansas City will come back and blow these teams out and become number one like it never happened. So Jacksonville, to me, needed to win that game. But now since they lost, all you did was give Kansas City another opportunity to come back in a couple more weeks to become the number one team.
And even deeper than that, now Jacksonville now is 8-4.
Mm-hmm.
Indy is, now I can't remember Houston's record, but Indy is 7-5 because Indy been hot too. Jacksonville, y'all got the Browns this coming week. Y'all lose 2 more games and Indy win 2 more games, and all of a sudden y'all looking up at the Indianapolis Colts. So y'all can lose the division in a matter of 2 weeks.
Hey, that's how the NFL is set up. You was absolutely correct. Yep.
So I hope Trevor Lawrence get back sooner than later, man.
Well, we'll see. I've never seen them take this long to put out an injury report. I'm never that, usually by this morning, somebody would have said something. It would have came across my phone, my YouTube, my something, but it hadn't.
Yeah, and I've been so busy, man, trying to plug away. I didn't even get a chance to even look at it. A funny experience over the weekend, though, that I did have, and I thought this was hilarious. So we went to, I'm going to tell y'all, I don't know if you guys are from Nashville, but the nastiest bathroom has to be in Nashville, has to be that Kroger on Monroe. That Kroger on Monroe, I don't care if you go in there first thing in the morning. I don't care if you go in there, last thing at night. One thing is guaranteed when you go in that bathroom, there's a strong smell of piss. I don't care what time you go, even after they clean it up. Man, I've watched their employees go in that bathroom with them little, they had a little, the little cleaning things where they walk in and they clean it and they come out, and I'm like, how the hell you come out of this bathroom and it still smelled like strong piss, like somebody just recently just now just stood there and just sprayed the whole wall.
Right.
Well, when I went in there this weekend, I seen something new. And this is something, how you always say, man, I done seen it all. And as soon as you say that, you'll see something else that topped that and what you just saw to the minute. When y'all go to these urinals, who doodled in the urinal? It was a long brown turd just sitting there. You know what I'm saying? It's just laid out like it's on the beach.
Are you serious?
And the funny part about it, Scott?
What's that?
Wasn't a piece of toilet paper in sight.
Man.
So they left a little log in there without the blanket. And he just sitting there, just, And what am I to do? You come in there, you got to go real bad. I just, hey, man, I just got to pee on this log.
Get out of here.
Left that. And then imagine being an employee having to go in the bathroom like that, right? And it's a log where somebody just squatted down and just, I can understand if they was in a rush and maybe the other bathroom was sealed off and they didn't want to boop on themselves and it was one of them mud sparks, and that's bad too. But for a log to be in there, man, come on, man, we better than that. Y'all can't just be leaving logs in the wall stern of all places.
That Kroger's is still out there by the hood. And there's a lot of monsters or junkies, whatever you call them nowadays, or fiends, anywhere out there. And there's a lot of streetwalkers and street urchins that go into those bathrooms, man. There's a lot of prostitution that goes into those bathrooms, take these bird baths, as we call them. And that's what you're going to get until they stop that type of traffic coming into that Monroe Kroger. Because I know exactly what you're talking about. It's not going to change.
It is horrible. And the funny part about it? Because when I worked downtown, I used to always put this stuff on the homeless people. It's regular Joes out there to do it too. It's regular common people. That's not what they say, because I know somebody said something crazy.
Shouts out to CAI, brother. Shouts out to the Dark Angel, man. Robbie Knight. Yeah, he said I'd quit before I would have to clean that up. You was absolutely right, Robbie.
He ain't lying.
Yeah, we would not be cleaning it up. Me and my best friend Robbie, we had a cleaning company last year or the year before.
Oh no,
man, we cleaned this place called Fanny Battle. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's
I've
downtown.
heard of it, but I'm not familiar with it.
You know that Kroger's that is in on Gallatin Pike, downtown Gallatin Road.
Oh, okay, I know where that's at. Yeah,
there's a daycare behind it called Fanny Battle, and so I know what he's talking about. So when you're saying this, you're just bringing up old memories for me and him when we had to clean stuff like this, because these kids and the teachers was just putting anything everywhere, and I'll just leave it at that.
The teachers too.
The teachers too.
Man, that doesn't shock me. That doesn't shock me. And you know, in the worst bathrooms, tell me if y'all agree with this or not, but the worst restrooms often are grocery stores. And I don't know why that is, but grocery stores where food is have the worst bathrooms, and I don't get it. And the one on Monroe, what's so funny about it, Sky, is you gotta walk past the floral department like they think the flowers is gonna mask the smell, you know, and the flowers stink themselves. So you gotta walk past these stinking ass flowers to get to this pissy ass bathroom.
Right. You're right, Robbie. They had the bloody tampons in the trash can. They had all type of stuff in Fanny Battle, man. It was a nightmare, dude. It was, you know, I think breaking my wrist was like a blessing in the sky. Once I broke my wrist, I had to quit cleaning. But man, that 8-9 months we cleaned that daycare, man, it was terrible. But yeah, and you're right. Some grocery stores and some gas stations, and it's just because they don't monitor the bathrooms. If you go to a place like Publix bathrooms are so clean, you probably eat off the floor. Some gas stations, you know, they got the locks on them that you got to go talk to the cashier to get in. Those to me are pretty clean because they're monitoring who's going in there. But like Monroe, nobody.
Yeah, and I tell you something.
You better off just peeing outside somewhere.
Man, I worked at Save-A-Lot, the one on Clarksville Highway a couple years ago.
Yep.
And you know, there was a woman that right before she got to the toilet, it was pee, poop, and a pile of blood just sitting there right in front of the toilet. And I was like, thank God I ain't got to clean that.
Yeah. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? The stuff that you ask your employees to do, Save-A-Lot's probably paying you $8-9 an hour.
And they was at that time paying them that.
Hey, Save-A-Lot a cash saver.
And no, it was Save-A-Lot. And you're right, they were paying them that.
We have a cash saver here. So imagine you paying them $8-9 an hour to go clean something like that up. Because I used to work at St. Thomas Hospital, right? So I've seen every body fluid in the world. At least they made us put on some type of mask and, you know, gloves and put, you know, bio stuff on. They're not going to ask you to do that. They're going to give you the mop and the bucket until you just going in there. Right.
Sure, you got to give me some of that cat litter. Put that cat litter on that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And
he was absolutely correct. That's what I'm saying.
So I ain't mopping nothing. You could give me some of that rock and gravel, that gravel and rock stuff, the pebbles.
Yeah. You know, and people, some people ain't doing that, man. I got a friend there who tells me he'll never clean bathrooms ever again. So if you got a stomach to clean bathrooms and toilets, you can make really good money, but you got to have the stomach to do it. And they broke me in a long time ago. I was 18, 19 years old working at St. Thomas Hospital. And I was one of the people who cleaned the rooms after people left. And the stuff that I saw, I literally saw a woman sit down, because you know how they have the little rolling toilets and they had the buckets up under the toilet. Well, the nurse told the lady, she said, "Miss, whatever her name is, hold on. I got to clean this bucket before I put it back on your seat." She did not wait. I'm in there cleaning, taking out the trash. That lady sat down and she pooped right there in front of me onto the floor because the nurse had took the bucket. And the nurse told her, the lady had to be like 70, 80, but the nurse kept telling her, "Miss, whatever, just give me a second." She said, I have to go to the bathroom. She said, "You taking too long." So she sat down on that cold, whatever it was, and boop, 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 right there.
Man, you know what? I hate to say it though, but if it was a decision, a choice between that and going on myself, I'm sorry, man. You're gonna have to clean this doodle off the floor today, because I'm not doodling on myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bad deal. I remember, I'll tell you something else. At that Save-A-Lot on Clarksville Highway, because it was the men's restroom, it was a water fountain, and then it was the women's restroom, then it was the break room.
Right.
Somebody went up and couldn't make it, and so they peed in the water fountain.
Hold on, how you gotta be in a water fountain?
Man, it was a grown man. This wasn't no kid. This was somebody whose kidneys was weak. I don't know what was going on with their kidneys. They walked past the door of the men's restroom that felt like they wasn't going to make it. So, because they was holding themselves on the way into, in the area where the bathroom was. And be right there in the sink. Or not the sink, but in the water fountain. I said, man, that's nasty.
It is. That is. It is. It's very nasty. There's nothing clean and sanitized about it. But, somebody's got to do it. Somebody. Right. So that's one of the things why I try my best, if I had to work for other people, not to do that, because there's no way I could do it. I guess I could if I had to, but a lot of people don't have the stomach to be cleaning up after other grown people.
Yeah, me either. I don't care if you're grown, even kids. I mean, I guess if it's a baby, a newborn baby, but when we talk about kids, if you walking, right, that vomit, that's something else. Man, working downtown, man, you used to get people to go to these bars, and I don't get why y'all do this. If you know you can't handle your liquor, you should not be out drinking at any point in time. All right, and there's some rules that when you do go out and drink, don't eat nachos. Why the hell do y'all go and eat nacho cheese and then go to the bar and drink all this liquor and then y'all vomiting in the elevators, walking up in the elevators, in front of the elevator, stairwells, by your car? And I'm like, why would you eat some damn nacho cheese? Somebody got to clean that up.
Yeah, but they think it's cute for some reason. They think it's cute to go out here and
party. I don't even know
where
they serve it, Sky. Why would they even serve nachos?
I don't know. Get inebriated and then eat all this stuff on their stomach. Knowing darn well in a couple of hours, it's coming right back up. You taking shot after shot after shot of different whiskeys and bourbons and scotches, and then, like you said, you want to eat this heavy food. It's coming back up, and they think it's cute for some reason. I don't know why.
Man, you know what? Downtown Nashville, I don't like to go downtown Nashville for the smells themselves. I don't care. Block by block to clean that as much as they can. And they do. They try their best. You know what I'm saying? Every morning you'll see them out there with the pressure washers, in the boots and stuff, and spraying the sidewalks. But, man, it always smells of beer, cheap-ass ribs, and vomit and pee. Mm-hmm. Them smells combined describes downtown Nashville. And that's why y'all never see me in downtown. You'll never see me.
There was one point in time, when I was coming up, maybe in the 80s, downtown. I mean, they had the problems. They had the homeless people and all of those stuff. But it wasn't that bad. It was a nice place where you could go and walk around and have fun, and you'd have to go through all the stuff that you just said. But now, lately, yeah, it's terrible down there, man. It's terrible.
Man,
I don't know what they have to clean that stuff up. But the people, even the women that work in the bars, know this is coming. You work at these honky tonks every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You know somebody's gonna come in there and pee, poop, throw up, fight, blood. Who do you ask to clean these bathrooms?
And man, and kudos to y'all that got to clean that, because I'm sorry, there's not enough money in the world to make me want to clean that up. You know what I'm saying? And I had to do it. I work downtown, work for a parking company. And the stories I can tell y'all, I'm telling you, Sky, it ain't just them homeless people. It's regular, everyday folks. Some of them in-towners, some of them out-of-towners. But these folks are nasty, man. I'm talking about they nasty. The women, too. The women, like we know the men. The men, y'all peeing water bottles, that's frequent. we know y'all jacked up, but the women were squatting between cars, and they didn't care.
I don't know. As a woman, I can't see how y'all squat outside and pee. I'm scared someone would jump up and bite me. You know what I'm saying?
One day he is gonna bite him. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be scared of him. But yeah, some of them, I've seen it. Trust me, I've been out with folks and they walk over to the side, turn your back. I say okay, and they put it because they'll most will be wearing dresses. They just put in the panties if they wearing panties. They go pee. I was doing a show with a friend of mine named Big Rob. We were doing a show at the Hard Rock Cafe downtown, and we was at the very top floor sitting at a table, and there was this girl. She was like bending over the rail, looking down. Now, we didn't think nothing of it until the wind blew, and when it blew her dress up, she didn't have no underwear on. She had on a brown skirt with no underwear.
Man, I don't even know how she can sit out in public. You know what I'm saying? What? So he stay on, man.
Each is their own. You right?
You know, I guess you got to let it air out sometime. Let the air hit that, man. That clear that fish smell out. It's the air and blow the wind. Febreze. That's where Febreze, the title probably came from. Febreze. You got to let that stuff breeze out.
Let it go. Let it out. You're right. Fresh air.
Man, I want to go ahead and jump into this, man. This, I wanted to bring some light to it before we got, because it's a little serious topic. But I'm going to show y'all this video, Sky. I was watching this video, and I was just like, man, I'm sitting here, and I'm like, dang, man, why do we hate each other so much? Because this video I'm about to show y'all, right? The way that they nonchalantly just did this without a care in the world, it got me to asking questions and thinking about a whole lot. So y'all give me a little minute. I'm about to go ahead and pull this video up. This was pretty crazy, man. And a lot of times when you go on Instagram, you'll catch some real crazy videos. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show y'all this, and then we're going to go ahead and talk about it. Give me a minute, y'all. I'm pulling it up. Here we go. So if y'all did not catch this, I'm gonna play it again.
Thank you.
I'm gonna play this again. So
I like that. Go ahead.
Now, yeah, I'm sitting here, right? And I'm like, the way they just ran that crowd of people over. Now, the last time I seen that, the last time we seen anything like that was Charlottesville, where that man ran through that crowd, right?
Can you play that over one more time for me?
I'm going to play that over again, man. Y'all got to watch this. Damn!
Man, he went Mad Max and the Thunderdome on him, didn't he?
Man, and that's what made me ask that question, right? Because I was like, for us to be able to do that to each other.
Right.
I mean, and there was no hesitation. They did that without second thought.
Correct.
And it made me think about other stuff that within our community that I just asked that question, do we really hate each other? Like, it made me think about this, because Sky, I think we discussed this before. It seems like, for the most part, whenever we were unite, when blacks are united, it's violence taking place.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Protests. They violent. They busting in windows. You know what I'm saying? Shooting people, burning stuff, turning stuff over. Even when we're united in other factions like a parade or like a party, anything we do, you shocked if violence don't take place.
Right.
We almost expect something violent to happen. And think about how many things that we have, how many events that we have, and it's like, damn, man, you can't even go here. Like, we don't even want to go to, like, the Jefferson Parade.
Right.
When they had a TSU parade. I don't never want to go. Because I'm like, man, I can't take my kids here. I don't want my kids to get shot. And this is great. It's a great event. I like how they got the vendors and the parade is nice, but I don't want my kid to get shot, or I don't want to get shot standing out here, man, trying to enjoy myself.
Correct.
And we have that thought process.
Yeah. Early in my life, I used to go to the TSU parade. It used to be the thing to look forward to, you know. And you didn't have to worry about that. The parade was during the day, which was still cold. And then, you know, black folks, we hung out at night on Jefferson Street right there. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, times have changed and you can't do that anymore. You just can't, because people are crazy for some reason. And that video, man, is just disgusting. Not only if it was just black people, but for anybody. That is lack of disregard for human life.
Right.
And whoever was driving the car, first of all, if you saw the car, it already looked towed up, right? So
it looked like that after it hit them. It hit about 4 or 5 people.
Also, it got towed up after it hit.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was towed up before it did. Okay. So it goes to show you that, man, you got to be careful around people. Because he didn't care. Because people are videoing this. So they probably got his tag. They probably got whoever it is before they got in the car. So he ain't worried about going to jail. He ain't worried about getting charged for murder. He ain't worried about none of that stuff. He's pissed off to the point he's ready to take somebody down.
And Sky, if you think about it, right? I mean, we've had brothers lose their life because somebody stepped on, they stepped on somebody's shoe by accident.
Yep. I've been there, done that. Yep.
And we will be real quick to take each other's noodle pack off. But then you got people walking around here like they sat there and watched that cop, man, choke out George Floyd. Nobody did nothing. Or when Zimmerman walking around here, nobody did nothing. But when it comes to each other, man, we are very quick to get very violent. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm saying that to say this. I'm not wishing violence on anybody. I do not condone it, right? But I'm just pointing out merely that we're quicker to commit violence against each other than we are other people, other cultures.
They are trying to do a study because of where our lineages, well, I can't even talk about it. Where we come from, our lineage, where we come from. They're trying to do a study, right? So I was watching TV, and they was trying to do a study between the European honeybee and the African honeybee, right? The European elephant and the African elephant. Do you know that the difference is the violence? If we was to walk and we saw a bunch of European bees, they would just look at us and let us walk by. And as long as we don't bother them, we okay. If we walk past a bunch of African bees, they're going to attack us on sight. Even though we're not a threat, they're going to attack us on sight. Same thing with the elephants, right? So you got to realize we're still considered the animal kingdom. So anything that's coming or originating from Africa has folks thinking violence, that we have this trait or genetic, that we are just violent. What the video you just saw just proves to these folks, or helps their theory, that anything that has African a part of it is just naturally violent.
Right. And
that's what they was trying to prove when they was talking about black people, white people. Let's say, well, let's take it back down to animalistic traits. The African honeybee and the European honeybee and the African elephant and the European elephant, the difference between, if you look at an African elephant, if you're an African, you look at the elephant, he's going to charge you for no reason. The European elephant will walk away unless it feels threatened. So the black people, white people, They're changing. Well, you know, if you look at certain white people, they'll walk away. But black folks, if you look at them the wrong way or say something the wrong way, they're ready to be violent. Now, I don't know if they finally connected those traits, but I do remember watching that on TV.
Yep, and I wrote down a list of 10 things that I just thought of, and I was like, man. And it actually, man, made me a little sad thinking about it. I'll give you something else. We call each other racial slurs when we have political disagreements.
Yeah.
So you ever been in a political discussion with somebody and the first thing they say is you coon, or you know, Uncle Tom, or you Sambo, and we quick to use the same racial slurs that we complained about for years being used on us. Now we use those on each other.
And think it's cool. When did that become cool?
We validated other cultures to do the same thing,
right? Because
we're doing it to each other. And so if you have the same political view that they have, and then they say, "Oh, you're Uncle Tom or this," then it's validated because you two share the same political views. And, right. It's shocking. It's a shock to me that we even think like that.
And I don't know why. That's something that I can't answer. I mean, just like even the N-word, they hate for other cultures to use it or say it, but we use it like we invented it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a cool thing to do. We have ownership. And I'm thinking, out of all the things that black people want to own, that's it. You want to own that word? That's all. It's like, out of all the things that we can own in this world, that's the one thing you want to own.
Priorities is backwards, man.
You know?
Here's something else, man, that was close to that I was thinking about. When it comes to dealing with black businesses, we treat black businesses different than we do other cultures. I'll give you an example. Have you ever dealt with, and I felt this before too, when I went in Slim and Huskies. Remember we were talking about that now. Slim and Huskies, they are a popular favorite dining pizza shop in Nashville, right? Yeah. One of the probably better ones. But even in dealing with them, you feel like you're getting took. And it's not because of the quality of the pizza, because the pizza is great. But then it's like, you remember the episode of Martin, when Bro Man came in there, they was froze, and he had that big old sheet of pizza. We talked about this before. And then he sold it to them, and they opened the box up, and it was this small box within the big box of pizza. And then they felt like, that's how I feel like, man, when you're dealing with, and we all do it. When we dealing with black businesses, we feel like, man, we're being taken advantage of.
That's right. That's right. And I don't know why we have that. I know why I do, because I've actually been taken advantage of from all businesses, but mainly black. And so I know why I have that feeling. I'm not just sitting around.
And I do too. I'm not going to lie. I do too.
Yeah. I'm not just making this up. I've had it. And I went to a place in 2003, I won't say the name because they still might be in business, on Jefferson Street, to serve wings, and the service and treated me and everybody else was so bad, I never went back. And that was in 2003. That was literally 20 years ago, and I have never went back a day in my life.
And you know the crazy part about it? Like you said, I have those feelings too, right? But the crazy part is I've had just as many bad experiences with other businesses and cultures as I had black. But I've had so many of them, like I can't tell you, there's not many black businesses where I could say, well, the service was really, really good. There are a few, but there's not many experiences that I've had where I could say, I feel like I got a great deal, or I felt like I got great service. And I think that's where that thought process come in at too.
Yeah. And that's sad, because now you take somebody who's young and African American and want to start a business, they already have that stigma on them before they even open the doors.
Right.
Like, oh, you black? So that means you hire black people, black accountants, black cashiers, black whatever. This ain't gonna work.
And we also, the worst thing we do is we put a title on it. I don't like to say a black run or black business, because the only color really that matters is.
But they do it all the time, and I can't lie, because I can't be hypocritical. I catch myself doing it in the wrestling business. When I do something, I always like, I'm the first black, the first African. But that's because I hear it all the time on TV. Anytime black people do something, it has to be in that box of black. Not the first athlete, but the first black. So I'm brainwashed with that too. You know what I'm saying? So if they quit saying that, if they quit saying the first black, because he might have been the first athlete, because not all white athletes have every record in the world.
Right.
Just say the first athlete. Quit saying the first African American, the first black athlete to do X, Y, and Z. So then I could see myself not saying it as much either.
Right. Something else that I was thinking of. When we get money, think about when we get money. The first thing we try to do is what?
I know what we don't do. We don't help others.
We move away from each other.
Yeah.
We never build in our own community.
Dr. Umar was talking about that. And a lot of these rappers talk about that, from Bootsy to Lil Wayne to a lot of these guys, especially in New Orleans, that they had to leave New Orleans because they were scared for their lives, man. It was so much hate that they have this popularity and money. They got to move to Florida, Atlanta. They got to move to Texas, these places where people don't really know much about them, just so them and their family can survive.
And
so that's one of the variables on why they leave.
And ain't that bad that we got to move away from each other to feel safe?
Again, it could go back to the violent thing. We hate each other so much that if the next person, they feel like my success is their demise. And I don't know why that is. Why do we feel that way? Why do we feel like if Damo is successful, I can't be successful? And I don't know why. And that's what it is. It's that crab in the bucket mentality. I'm not going to let you out the bucket if I got to keep my ass in the bucket, right?
Right. Right. And I always had this saying, man, you know what I'm saying? And I think, we all kind of deal with this where you get, and it's always mostly the people that's closest to you that they wish you well, but, deep in their heart, they want to see you fail.
Yep, those that will pray for you will pray against you too. You right.
Yep.
That's why I keep myself to myself until it's physically has happened or it's physically existing. I don't tell nobody my dreams and hopes.
Right. Yeah. Because they're your dream. You know what? I'm glad you said that, Sky, because I kind of look at it like this. They're my dreams, so I don't expect for another person to see them. I expect them to be blind to them because they mine. They're not theirs. They're mine.
Correct. You absolutely correct. You is right.
So here's something else I was thinking about in that. When we date outside our race, we can't just be happy with the person that we have and just say, this person is just somebody I date, I fell in love with, and that's all that matters. No, what we do is we kick each other down and then drag each other like, man, I'm not dating no black man no more because black men ain't this. Or I'm not dating no black women because they're like this. So we got to kick each other down, even when we're dealing with somebody else. Why can't you just deal with the person that you're dating because y'all have common interests and leave it at that? Why do it got to have anything to do with, your own culture or your own color? We the only ones that really do that for the most part.
True, and I don't know why. I wish I had something to say about that. I don't know why. I watched two people talk about each other. It was me, two guys, and a girl, and the two guys were like, "That's my homeboy. That's blah blah blah." But when one left, he talked bad to the girl about the other one, and vice versa. And I'm thinking, well, damn, did y'all just say y'all were brothers, and now all of a sudden, as soon as one leave, because both of y'all probably like this girl, and now when one leave, you throwing shots and shade. Like, man, it's crazy. I don't know about other cultures, but this culture here, it's crazy. I'm like, man, who can you trust?
Right. And man, and you go on, you think about it, go on TikTok, go on Facebook. You'll see, man, I've seen black chicks, for example, post a picture of a black and white couple and just say, well, I'm going to start dating white dudes like her. And I'm like, if that's what you like, then just like that. Why you got to kick brothers down on the way to, to build yourself up, and vice versa? I don't think it's cool when dudes do. Talk about, well, I don't want to date black chicks because they aren't marriageable and all this. Just date and like who you like. Why you got to slam your own people on your way to liking who you like? it's cool to like other people from other cultures, but you ain't got to kick people on your way down or your way or what you consider your way up.
Correct. You're right about that. And I guess they got to feel good about themselves. I'm with you because again, it just mind boggles. Some things I can't fathom. I just can't fathom. If you like a white person, a black person, an Asian person, a Korean person, go whether your heart is telling you, but at the same time, you don't have to kick another person. It's like when I watch other people's podcasts. If they don't disagree, they talk bad about each other. I watched a dude's podcast that said he didn't disagree with this guy and called him a simp. Why he got to be a simp because you don't disagree? Robert Kiyosaki has talked bad about Dave Ramsey and Grant Cardone. Robert Kiyosaki, if you don't agree, then do you. Why are you talking bad about these guys? And I don't get that. I don't get it. So even on a standard conversation or a podcast, I don't get that if you disagree, the next person has to be a derogatory name once you're done disagreeing.
Right. And we see that every day. You could go on YouTube right now, and we'll come across within minutes somebody doing it.
Yeah.
Here's something else I was thinking of too. When one of us speaks proper English, they're now talking white. Like, do you know how disrespectful that is to like all black people? So we all supposed to be still talking like slaves? You know how, man, I mean, that's a slap in the face to me.
That is a slap in the face. That is my cousin Jay, we call him Dr. JG. Growing up, he taught proper. He taught straight good English. So whether we was on the phone with white women or black women, they always thought Jay was white until they met him. And I went, why Jay? He's black. Why he talk white? I said, he don't talk white. He's talk educated. He's educated. He ain't down here talking about yo. You know what I'm saying? Even to this day, I had a friend that told her sons that if y'all go on TV talking like that, I don't care what age you are, me and you gonna have a problem. Because a lot of these football players, that's why I don't watch the interviews. When they do the interviews, a lot of these football players cannot speak complete English. They are talking and mumbling, and I'm like, what are y'all saying on national TV? Nobody taught y'all how to talk correctly. They taught y'all how to play football, but they didn't teach y'all how to speak correctly on national TV. So when you get a black educated man that can speak correctly, now he's white. Like Wayne Brady. He's supposed to be the whitest black man in America. Why? Because he's educated, he's smart, he's successful. So then he's the whitest black man in America.
And you know the funny part about that? Think about the U.S. president.
Yeah.
Like, what do he speak at all? He speak even more ignorant. I mean, he represents the country and just looking at this dude, and I'm just like embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? So when y'all say
George Bush days, you remember the George Bush days, the son, the way he would get up there and talk. I was like, man, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So he got reelected.
And think about that. And that was bad. So think about, because from presidential elects or anybody in office, the standards is a little bit higher. So you think about that, and then where we at right now. Now this dude is, man, it's like we got a 2-year-old up on the stand. And so when y'all say, well, he talk, what did he talk, black or white? I need somebody to explain to me, because I can't figure it out.
Me neither. I can't neither. They have an age limit on you applying for president. You have to be 35 and an American-born citizen. They need an age limit on being a president towards the end, because Joe Biden is close to 80, right?
Man, I don't know what he is, but what I will tell y'all is that sign language person, they start throwing gang signs when they don't understand what he had. They can go in hand, they can start throwing gang signs because they get lost in what he's saying.
When you learn how to speak sign language, they don't teach you ebonics in sign language. You know what I'm saying? They don't teach you that stuff. So when she's listening to him and she's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just gonna start clapping. Forget doing the hand, we're gonna just clap, Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're right.
Ooh. Something else, man.
But think about it, Damo. If we get a George Bush II, maybe a Donald Trump sometimes, and maybe a Joe Biden, then what are you telling the kids? Because this is why they tell athletes quit cussing, quit fighting, quit being whores, quit beating on women, because these kids look up to you, right? So if these kids are looking up to presidents that are either doing bad things outside of their presidency, or they're the type of president, like you said, we can't understand a word you're saying because he's going back to his childhood days because he's at that age where he can start going in reverse. There has to be more tightness on who can be president of the United States.
Man, that man stood up there and was like, man, I got a message I want to tell y'all. I said, what?
And we all gonna get there one day. We all, if you live to be 80, 90, we all gonna get there. But we should not be the person that's on this high pedestal going around the world trying to be diplomatic. And that's all I'm saying. I'm sorry. If it sounds like it's ageism to me, that's fine. Because I don't mind having an 80-year-old person at Walmart saying hello, welcome. But you can't have an 80-year-old man trying to keep up the world together, and to me, it's just not. It don't make sense.
And we cannot disrespect people because they're educated. Okay, we should actually commend each other when we come across somebody that's very educated. We should commend them. It shouldn't be no, man, you acting white. How do you act the color? That's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Yeah. How do you act the color? So you got to be ignorant to be black. We got to be stealing and having broke down cars in the neighborhood and eating bologna sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? Without the bread, it's just the bologna. It's a sandwich though, but the bread is it's invisible.
Yep, you got to have all the scars, tattoos. You got to be in and out of jail. Have 67 baby mamas. You got to be on child support. You got to have one of those platinum EBT cards. I mean, you got to have all this stuff to be considered hood or can be considered to have a black card. Now, only black card I've ever seen is the American Express black card. Now, the black card in the hood I've never seen. I wish somebody would show me one because I have never seen it. But yeah, to do that's what you have to have. Yeah.
Something else in our culture. We speak to our children like we speak to people in the streets. I can't tell you how many times I've been out in public and I've seen people cuss their kids out, call them MFers, call them the N-word, call them son of a bees, and all that. And I'm like, damn, do we hate each other that much?
Yep. You're absolutely correct. They upset because they have to take care of this child. Well, nobody told you to lay down and have it.
Right.
You should have thought about this before you got into that mood to start having sex, right? So that's why the old people used to tell me. They used to tell me the truth. And they told me eventually babies will start having babies, and that's what's going on. Because I was in the store and was talking, and a child is going to be a child, like a puppy is going to be a puppy. And you can't be upset at this child and calling them all type of adult languages. Like what really gets me about it sometimes, Damo, is when they're trying to talk to a 4 and 5-year-old about money. They
understand.
Yeah, they want it. And you talk about, I gotta go to work, I gotta pay my phone bill, the electric bill's due next week, my car. They don't understand that. They don't. All they understand is you telling them no. Then when they get 10, 11, 12 years old, they keep thinking, well, this green stuff will get me what I want when mommy and daddy can't do it. Why do I need school? Why am I sitting in school with this book learning about dead people when I need to go out here and get this, whatever this is, so next time I go to the toy store, I can buy what I want.
Right.
And that is a variable. It ain't the biggest part of the pie, but that is a variable why you have so many kids dropping out of high school because all their lives, all they heard is no, we don't have money. And then when they start learning about money and money math and what money can do for them, then you wonder why they 14 years old out here hustling to go buy a pair of Jordans and sitting in a classroom getting educated.
Right. Something else that I came up with was like, man, you know, even though it's statistically shown that kids fare better in two-parent homes than single-parent homes, we create single-parent homes anyway. So even though it's, you know, the stats show that when kids are raised in two-parent homes, they do better, we still, even we know that, and we still go out and create single-parent homes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, dang, do we really hate each other that bad?
I still can't answer that. I don't know what it is. It's like I'm 15 years old, right? And my oldest sister's 21. She has 3 baby daddies and 5 kids, and she's struggling. By the time I get 21, I have 3 baby daddies and 5 kids, and now I'm struggling. Did I not learn from what I just seen? Did I not learn, or do I just don't care, or I'm just lazy, or I don't know the answer to that? There's no way if I see my older sister struggling like that, would I even attempt to go that way? Now, if I get married and my husband leaves me with the kids, that's a whole different story. But for me to go out here and get 3 baby daddies and 5 kids, just like my older sister did, and then you a single mama trying to raise 5 kids, and you telling all of them, no, we broke, no, your daddy ain't this, no. Okay, and then all of them are 14, 15 years old selling drugs because they didn't have a daddy in their lives to teach them how to be men.
And what you just said, I asked this question this week. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was like, and ladies, I'm gonna ask y'all, what is the requirement that a guy have to have for you to sit there to yourself and say, this is the man that I think should be having my children? What requirements? Because I don't get it how so many of y'all have deadbeat dads. What were the requirements? Was it that he had to make so much a year, that he had to have his own house, car, good credit? What was it in you that said, you know what, this man right here, he deserves to have he deserves to have my children?
Yeah, well, I know coming up in the 90s, all they had to, it wasn't even about money back then. But I was going to Glencoe High School, they had to be fine. If you look like Roman Reigns, you got every woman in the building, even the teachers.
So the requirement is
it didn't even matter about money. You could have been sleeping outside on a cot on an old mattress. If you look like Roman Reigns, and especially if you played sports, oh yeah, you had every woman in the building.
You know what's so crazy about that? Because I told somebody, I said vagina don't even have value anymore because people giving it out like it's COVID masks.
Yep.
They giving that twat out like it's COVID masks. You know, and I was like, at the end of the day, most people are getting a hand-me-down. We are a hand-me-down. Some of us are really hand-me-down. Some of us are tore up, Goodwill tore up, throw that in the trash hand-me-down.
What you said, you was absolutely correct. Absolutely. And I was listening to Dr. Umar, and he, you know, right now, like just in the United States, for every 1 male, there are 4 females. Like we're being outnumbered like crazy.
Oh yeah.
Dr. Umar was talking about in certain places in America, there's 1 guy for every 20 women. Because he was talking about how men are dating white women or men are becoming homosexuals. That means that is limiting the pool for the women, right? So if you got 20 women chasing a Roman Reigns, the first thing they're thinking, the most valuable thing I can give him is my vagina. So that's why what you're saying is what it is. Because if you're chasing Roman Reigns and you got 19 other women chasing Roman Reigns and you ain't got no money, no car, you living at home, the only thing you got left is your vagina.
Right. And you know, and the reason why I added that to the list, I remember I was having a conversation with this young lady before, and she was trashing her baby daddy, and I was like, well, what does he do for a living? Or, you know, what does that matter? And I'm like, what does that matter? He got to take care of the kids somehow, don't he? So shouldn't what he, you know, do for a living matter? But that went way over her head. You know, and it's like, if we really care about our kids, the first thing we should do is be careful with who we have kids with. You know, and it can't be based on something as small as where they look fine. You know, what kind of substance, what real requirements did you have? You know what I'm saying? Like me, for example. My wife saw that I work with kids. I work with kids. When I met her, I was working with kids. So she knew I love kids. That's a great quality. You love kids. That's equality. You know what I'm saying? He goes home. He don't hang out in the streets. You know what I'm saying? He works and goes home. That's a good quality. You know, talk about, oh man, when he looked like Denzel. Now you got well, what about when he ain't paying that child support? What difference does that make now?
What about the women? Where I come from, there will be a girl who's dating a guy or having sex with a guy who already has 5 kids. Everybody in the hood knows he has 5 kids and 5 baby mamas. You sleep with him, become number 6. Go down to the child support court and the judge tell you ain't nothing left for you. Because his money only stretches so far. So you can't get mad at him for the first 5 women getting his child support money and you done laid up and have number 6 and it ain't nothing left for you. You know he had him. And all these girls are probably telling, oh, girl, he's great in bed. He looks good. And you want to try it out. And then here you are pregnant and you upset because now he over baby mama number 3 house on Tuesdays and baby mama number 1 house on Sundays. But he ain't thinking about you until he ain't got nowhere to go. That's the hood I came out of. That's it.
Yep.
Well, Jessica, how you doing?
And you know, one of the last things on the list is we speak so disrespectfully towards each other. In our community. You know what I'm saying? Now, I've had issues with people of all cultures. I won't say I've personally had issues, but I've seen issues, right? Witnessed on hand, but nothing the way that we talk to each other. We talk to each other. And let me tell you, especially in customer service, because, man, I can't stand to go to one of our people and when I see him in a position of customer service, I'll be like, dang, here we go again.
Here we go. That's right. And it's sad that we're stereotyping. Jessica, I'm doing okay. How have you been? Yeah, I hate that. And I do it myself, man. I look at her. Like I can go to a Dollar Tree and there'll be a black girl in there.
You can see that attitude, can't you?
But even before she talks, she got green and blue in her hair. She got her nails so long. She got that one gold tooth in her mouth. And I know right before she opened her mouth, she sounded just as hood as every brick in a project. And I shouldn't think that way. But that's just the life I've been through. I go to the mall, and if I want to shop Mary Kay or Ralph Lauren, those women are going to be dressed nice. They're going to be named Joy and Kathleen. I go to Dollar Tree, they're gonna be named LaWanda, LaShika, and all this old shit, and LaQuia and all this. And I have to apologize to those women because I shouldn't be having those thoughts before I even get to know you. But it's just the way some people
it's that look. You know that look, and I've seen it too. Real heavy set, you know, hair all over the place. A bonnet already. I already know. When I come encounter the bonnet gang, I know it's gonna get real, you know. But you're right. It's a Pacific look. Them hair colors, when they had that pink or blue or anything, I'm like, oh, here we go.
We go.
You know.
Yep. And she already had a bad day as soon as she clocked in. so that's how it is. But that could go back to what we talked about last show. This is why, as an employer, I will spend the money on robots and AI because when you come in, I have them programmed to say, hello, how are you? Smiling. You look beautiful today. I know the doctor said you don't need that extra pie, but, today is your day. Go ahead and you see what I'm saying? I'll pay the extra money because customers want to feel wanted and they want to feel special. On commercials, we see McDonald's people smiling. I ain't been at a McDonald's in my life where as soon as I walk in, they smiling. Or Wendy's or Burger King, none of that stuff. But on TV, they smiling and happy. In real life, that doesn't exist.
Ain't that something? Even Chick-fil-A. You go to Chick-fil-A, you know what I'm saying? And you can tell the difference. You go to Chick-fil-A.
Yes, you can.
It's professional. They fake happy. They do a great job of being fake happy. You know, I'll tell you what. I was at a Sonic. I was at the Sonic on Clarksville Highway. And not only is it the customer service that's bad, their intercom went out because it rained. It was one of them really bad rains and the intercom went out. So the person behind me and my daughter, she wanted to go to Sonic this day. when she got off work. So we in the line. First of all, there should have been somebody out there, but they didn't have enough employees to tell people the intercom is broken. So when you pull up to the window, they're going to take your order. Should have been somebody back there doing it. But, you know, when you have us running the restaurant, we don't do things all the way right. So you didn't figure that out until you got up. You were stuck between cars, so you couldn't just pull out.
Right.
So you pull up, and then they finally tell you, well, you know, the intercom broke. Well, we figured that out 3-4 cars ago. The intercom broke. Go ahead and put your order, and we'll go ahead and get it to you. Well, the car behind us, because nobody came out and told them, when the cook, that was the only cook back there, finally did open the door and tell them, they cussed him out, and he got into a little conversation with him, but he didn't disrespect him. They shot at this dude.
Are you serious?
I am dead serious. And that been the last time I was at Sonic.
And you said this was where?
Man, at Sonic on the Clarksville Highway. On a Sunday, bro.
Oh,
on a Sunday. On a
I know
Sunday
exactly what you're
morning.
talking about. Yeah.
Jesus wasn't even woke yet. This little flock was still getting showers and stuff, man. Eating, you know, trying to get their fleece white as snow. And they shooting early in the morning. And I'm like, this is a damn Sunday. So
and it goes back to answer your question on why we leave when we get money.
Yeah.
I didn't even have money when I left. When I left Nashville, I didn't have a pot to piss in or one to throw it out of, but I left.
And you
so
know,
I can imagine if you got money, why you would leave.
When we have these conversations, most people say, oh, they use slavery as an example, right? As an excuse. Do you know we went through slavery, the Jim Crow era, the civil rights era, and we were never this disrespectful toward each other as we are now. So why is slavery being used as an excuse?
Right.
Because it's like the more. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to lead this last point. The more rights we have gotten, the more disrespectful we have gotten toward each other.
Right. And I was going to say, because back then we had a common enemy. We didn't have time to be disrespectful. It's sort of like a man and a woman that's married and they got kids. But once the kids grow up and leave the house and they become empty nesters, they start noticing little things that they didn't know because the kids were the buffer. You know what I'm saying? Once the kids left, he's like, I didn't know that about him, or I didn't know that about her. You know, so now as we don't have these so-called common enemies no more, now we're turning on each other. You know, it's like when the WWE had WCW to fight, that was fine. But when WCW went away, they took Raw and SmackDown and turned them against each other. So to me, I never thought about that.
I never thought of it like that. You are absolutely right, bro.
Yeah, it's like, did you ever watch Empire, the TV show?
Yeah.
Okay, did you notice that every time they had a common enemy, they came together as a family? But as soon as they eradicated their enemy, they turned on each other. For 8 seasons, this is what they did. They came together when they had a common enemy, and when they got rid of that common enemy, they turned on each other. And then another common enemy would come, and they would get back together. That was it. That was all the Empire was based on.
That sounds like the black community.
Yeah, yeah. And so right now, until we get a common enemy like robots replacing jobs, I guess, they're going to just turn on each other.
Yeah. Man, Sky, before we go, you know, every week, man, I love to do birthday shout outs.
Sure.
If you got anybody you want to shout out right now, man, I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor.
Well, I know I called him the Dark Angel. Sorry about that, Robbie. You're the Dark Saint. Sorry. My CAI brother, the Dark Saint, Robbie Alexander. Shouts out to Jasmine. I'll see y'all December 16th at SMPW in Illinois. Shouts out to Jessica. I ain't talked to her in a while. Jessica, if you can hear me, do you still go to Swag? I don't know if you still go down to Swag or not or whatever. But shouts out to y'all for watching and commenting and everybody else who's listening. Right now, for some reason, man, I had a problem trying to connect this live show to my YouTube. It's acting funny. So can you send me the link to your YouTube page so I can download this?
Of course.
And that way I can upload it to my YouTube page too?
I got you. No problem.
Okay.
I know I wanted to go ahead and give a birthday shout out to Misty. Oh, were you finished? My bad. I should have. Are you finished with all your shout outs, guys?
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm done.
cool. I didn't want to, just interrupt you like that.
No, go ahead.
Misty Campbell, man, happy birthday to you. Pamela Bokinski, happy birthday. Denitra Knight, I know her personally, man. I actually think Denitra, I think she did an advertisement for me a long time ago. So happy birthday, Denitra Knight, man. I hope you're enjoying it. Ernest Stallworth, happy birthday. I went to school with Ernest, so happy birthday to him. And Tracy Trey, happy birthday. Cyrita Jones, happy birthday. Marsh Harvey, happy birthday. And Cassidy Preston, happy birthday. Tisha Grindraw, happy birthday. And Lachey Batley, happy birthday. Latanya Brown, happy birthday. So I wanted to tell you guys happy birthday, man. I hope you guys enjoy it. And a shout out to Dre and Duty Doo. Duty Doo and I, we have the interview this coming Friday at 6. And make sure y'all tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow I start a Wednesday show with a co-host, a good friend of mine, Kobe Hampton. And we're going to be talking about relationships, dating, and marriage. And our show topic for tomorrow is, should there be a time limit on marriage? When is it considered rushed? And when is it considered too long? So that's our topic of discussion tomorrow. So we hope you guys tune in, and that's at 3 Central Time.
Yeah, well, that's amazing, man. That is amazing. And to answer your question on my end, yes, I do. I think that some parts of marriage is old and outdated, just like the Constitution is old and outdated. And if you have to be required to every so often get a new gun license, every so often get a new driver's license, why are you not required every now and then to renew your vows and get a marriage license? You know what I'm saying?
I love that. I love that idea. I love that idea, man. I couldn't agree more.
So,
All right, man. Well, we gonna go ahead and check out, man. Sky, it's always a blessing to be on here with you, man. Every week, man. I look forward to Tuesday. This is like my favorite day of the week now to do this. And so, man, I hope you have a great rest of your week. Man, we'll let you guys know the show topic. I'm going to try to get the show topic to y'all much faster, because usually I've been horrible about it. I get Sky the day before, but I'm going to try to do it like, before this week is out. You know what I'm saying? And I look forward to next week's show. Sky, God bless. Thank you guys for tuning in. We out.
Yes. See y'all.